The second was given by Brigonard. Brigonard was basically taking two quite famous books in contrast to each other. The one book was written by Richard Dawkins, who is a evolutionist and promoting the atheistic point of view. And the other book was written by Lovelock, and she promotes a participatory view of what happens on Earth. So these two concepts were put in contrast to each other, and he gave many examples showing that the participatory view is more fitting to many very interesting examples. The examples he took was, for example, that viruses are not only harmful, they are also instrumental in evolution, allowing a genetic transfer from one species or one living being to the next generation. If the virus goes not only in the normal cells but into the reproductory cells. The next example was that bacteria do coexist with eukaryotic cells. They not only harm to the eukaryotic cells, they also coexist with and within them. So an example where they coexist with the cells is the bacteria living in the gut, and they are needed for a proper digestion. But there are also examples where they live within the body of a cell, and in such they have transformed into mitochondria. At least this is a almost accepted or well-known view. Eukaryotic is a normal cell. I mean, a plant cell, an animal cell, a human cell with a normal nucleus, a nucleus which has a membrane. The bacteria, they don't have a membrane. The DNA or RNA is just floating around in that protoplasm. So they don't have the proper control over. But the membrane of the nucleus allows more control over the genetic reading, over the reading of the DNA. Okay. So these were the examples where viruses and bacteria are not only coexisting but collaborating with the eukaryotic cells. Then he gave the example of a cellular memory of an organ which was transplanted to another human, and after transplantation that lady felt ideas of the person from whom that organ came. So she would feel desires and longings which were foreign to her, but which were very original to the donor of that organ. Yes, then he gave the example of telepathic phenomena between a dog and its owner. Then he gave some examples from animals. Very astonishing thing that the cuckoo is breeded and brought up in the nest of another bird, and after having grown, without having any education from that bird in whose nest it was grown, it will find the other cuckoos around, and they will all together, separated from their parents who fly at another time, the young cuckoos all together will fly to Africa. How they can know? what to do. And a further example was the example of pigeons who were used in the Second World War as a messenger. And some of the pigeons would have their home on a ship which was maneuvering on the open sea. And these pigeons would find their way back to that ship, although the ship had already gone a sufficient distance. So how they can know where to fly. Then another example from animals is the crocodiles, which are helped by a certain type of birds. And then shamans in Africa who observe the animals by which plants they get cured for which disease, and then they would understand that action and use it for human purposes. So all these examples show that it is a participatory world in which we live, and we are not separated from each other, but rather we are deeply interconnected. Yes, then the third talk was given by John. Well, I cannot repeat everything, but I try to make a very short extract of it, although it is worth of repeating, but I just try to make an extract. He said one of the beginning thoughts was there are several mysteries in physics. One of the mysteries is how is it possible that a chargeless particle can become a charged? Other is how fermions can be produced from bosons. How a particle can be point-like and at the same time it can be extended. Then what makes the rest mass of a particle, actually of a fermion? Actually, this topic was addressed last year here. Then what makes the quantum spin, and what is a quantum collapse in essence? So these were some of the mysteries he pointed out, a few more which honestly I didn't understand, but these were the ones which I understood. Then he also added not only beauties, but also not only mysteries, but some great beauties of this universe. One of the great beauties is that the total amount of this energy is almost zero. So we are living in a world which is which has a net amount of almost zero, although it matters so much to us. But as a total amount, it's almost nothing. So he abbreviated to the sentence that everything is nothing and nothing is everything. But we have to add almost. Huh? Not almost?
I think it really is all nothing. But nothing is just having much more fun being nothing in this kind of way. What if it was really...
This effect comes, I mean, we have to give the reason. This effect comes because potential and gravitational energy is calculated as minus energy. And the other energies are calculated as positive. And the potential and gravitational energy is so much that it balances the other energies which we have in front of us.